Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse, and welcome to our very first episode of Magic the Gathering Arena. So, you may or may not know this, but I've actually played a lot of Magic in the past. This isn't going to be something that's happening regularly on the channel. I just wanted to pop in and have a bit of fun because I've seen that a format that I played in paper quite a few years ago has come back to the digital form, and I just thought, why not have a go and have a bit of fun with it? So, what we're going to be looking at doing here is we're going to be going into a Premier Shadows over Innistrad Remastered draft. So, the format is really fun. It's got a load of cool different archetypes. If we have a look down here, actually, there we go. So there's some cool spirit drafts. Relentless Zombies is awesome. I love that one. Vampire Madness was probably the strongest. The Madness with like Fiery Temper and things, Instant Neonate, really, really powerful. I'm assuming they're both going to be in this set. Werewolves was a bit disappointing. You know, I hoped it would be good, but it never seemed to be. Humans was good when you can get things like Is It Always Watching, the sort of auras, that was always nice. Sacrifice was so long-winded, but I loved it. And then we've got Spells, Graveyard, Boros is Boros, and Investigate. Investigate probably being the one I have the most fun with, but it's all about just having a bit of a laugh. And so what I'm going to do is just jump into this and see what we can find out. This may go terribly, it may go brilliantly. In fact, if I remember, it says Investigate, but I remember Blue-Green Emerge being a thing, so maybe that's different in the Remastered. But let's just have a look and see what we can find. If you enjoy this, please do hit that subscribe button, like the video, sign up over on Patreon if you really would love to support it. But more than anything, I'd love to just hear from you in the comments and let me know what you think of this as well. So, like I said, not going to be regular content, but occasionally I might just do a Magic draft here and there. So let's jump into the queue. Hopefully have some fun, and I'll see you once we get the draft popping. Now, my best record... Oh, okay, it's going fairly quickly, so maybe you don't need to worry about a cut here. My best record, I think I got to rank 26 or 28 Mythic in draft, and that was at the beginning of a set, and I just churned out a whole bunch of drafts, but for a very short period of time, and by very short I mean like half an hour, I was in the top 30 in the world briefly for one format. So I've got a lot of experience drafting, but I am very, very rusty. It's been a few years since I've actually taken it seriously, since I've remembered formats, learnt them, figure out all the tips and tricks as to what's going to be seen. So don't expect any high-level gameplay. I have beaten a few pro players in the past, but that's... to be fair, also it's been about 2/3 victories on pro players, but they are still far better than me. I just love my drafting. Never was a big constructed fan, so who knows, maybe the players I beat were more constructed than draft. I'm really hoping... Yes, there we go. Anyone we recognise here? No one we recognise. We're at sort of medium ranking, so let's just have some fun. I mean, Handweir Battlements is the sort of epitome of fun. Let's just pop this away for now. What? I swear I used to be able to hide this, but maybe that's something different. So, Falkenroth Gorger is just a 1-mana 2/1. Each vampire that isn't on the battlefield has madness equal to its mana cost. Handweir Battlements is amazing, giving creatures haste and then potentially, was it meld? Yeah, melding into the Writhing Township. I don't think anything here, like Crawling Sensation was a really fun deck actually, but it's once per turn. Thraben Inspector was always fantastic. Honestly, I mean Terrarium was also good. Okay, look, this is a badge. Oh, actually, Bloodbriar. I love Bloodbriar. I'm going to take Bloodbriar. This was one of my favourite decks to build. Well, if I'm doing that, I'm gonna go with Bloodbriar. I want to go for a sacrifice deck. See if we can find that. It's a weird first choice, but it's something I always enjoyed. Halpak Resurgence was good, but only in the Wolf deck. Magnifying Glass gets us things to sacrifice. There's a lot of things here. So, Voracious Reader was really powerful. But it's just whether you can get there. When you investigate for the first time, investigate an additional time. We might be looking at investigates here. I have played Rise from the Tides quite a few times. More Scarbs. I think an investigate list could be amazing. In Prisons of the Moon's great as well. This is for +1/+1 for each clue you control. But I think I really want to go clues. I love clues. Clues and sacrifice together are fantastic. This was just good because you can just make 2 bodies. We've got a bit of fixing here, the Griff. This wasn't great unless you were specifically in that list. Spontaneous Mutation. Okay, so this isn't great here. Like, the best card here is Instant Neonate. And I'll be honest, I'm just going to take it because there's nothing else here that really jumps out. Although Corpse Trawlers are also good. The zombie synergy, but I think Instant Neonate is incredible when you can get it to work. So we'll take this and bear it in mind. Soul Separator's bad. Overall Captive was great. Why is this here? This is gives something double strike, yeah, just some lands. Stormrider Spirit was always nice. We might be moving towards the a discard here. I mean, Olivia's Dragoon was also really solid. I think people are underestimating that, and the fact that this is open here, we've seen a couple of these which might wheel. I think we take Olivia's Dragoon. Free Madness outlets like these two were super powerful, so I'm going to keep going on this. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may discard a card. If you do, it gets +3/+0 till end of turn with Trample. That could be it, and maybe we start looking at the Vampires deck here. So it's the Werewolf Hunter, which is fine. Conduit of Storms. Fury Blade Vampire, another free discard outlet. We did see, was it Angelic Purge, I think it was? Sacrifice a permanent to exile something, which is great, but this to me looks like our first couple of big picks might be going away, and if we can get into this deck with this start, we're in such a good spot. What we'd like is some like fire. Ooh, Gaia Reach Bandit I remember being decent. It's just a hasty 3/2 that can sometimes get bigger. Rush of Adrenaline isn't even bad in this either. Lulark Mentor is solid for the real beatdown lists. Bound by Moonsilver is also good. And it's another sacrifice outlet, but maybe Ghoulcrawler's Apprentice is a reasonable value, but let's just go with the aggressive creature. It's a wrong type, but maybe it helps. Okay, we've got some Madness card here, so this is obviously decent to Madness. Insatiable Gorges was never great. It's essentially just something you can just use to get a Madness ability out, but it's not terrible. So we've got 3 vampires so far, so maybe Vampiric Fury could end up being good. Explosive Apparatus is decent. Ghoulcrawler's Apprentice is just fine. Let's just take... I think we're going to wheel one of these, so I'm going to take Insatiable Gorgeous for now. So I'm going to put these back in just because we haven't actually seen any other black cards coming back around since the Olivia's Dragoon. This was a really, really good card. So it may just be that, you know, it was a one-off and that was just a really heavy black pack. But let's find out what we've got coming. Okay, so Graph Rats. And Graph Rats is always fun with the idea of maybe getting the Chittering Host. We've got a Sack Outlet. None of these, like Aim High is decent, but we're probably not green. We've not seen much good green. Strength of Arms is good in the right deck. I think Borrowed Hostility could be good. We're already an aggressive red deck, so there's no reason not to. Here we go, Blood Mad Vampire. So this is great with the Neonate and things like that. Borrowed Malevolence is also good as well. +1/+1 and +1/+1 and -1/-1 is really solid, but we might as well go for the vampire synergies. We want to get some of these like Alchemist Greetings or things back now. Okay, so Imprisoned in the Moon is good. Skulking Fogwalker is decent. Prowess Scar. I mean, we don't really have anything to trigger these is the problem. I'm going to take Imprisoned in the Moon here just as a sideboard option. We'll put it in the main list for now, but I don't really want to be there. Maybe we could end up the red-white aggro deck. So, although Arms of the, okay, if we do end up in the black deck, Arms of the Vein is good there. Soul Separator was... yeah, no, that's no good. Sacrifice a creature or land to draw 2 cards. I think we might just want that here anyway. We're not happy with these, but we're not doing too bad. Can't block unless you control another wolf or werewolf, but who wants to block anyway? Rush of Adrenaline's good. And we did get the Vampiric Fury back. Come on, give us something big and... oh my goodness, Mind Rack Demon's incredible. You lose 4 life unless you've got Delirium, but it does mill 4 and potentially just hits like a truck. This was the... oh, so it's another Madness Vampire, but I mean the Mind Rack Demon is so big. If we can get this, that would be amazing, or this back, or even like that would do. Wiltfield Scarecrow was always fun, but it's not great here. We're taking Mind Rack Demon, so we need to build a little bit for the Delirium. So because at the moment we've mostly got instant sorcery creature. There's a Fiery Temper, amazing. I think that might have even been common when we saw it previously, so maybe that's why. I'm pretty sure it was actually common in paper. But getting one of those is also great. We've basically just got Lightning Bolt in our deck now, which is absurd for limited. I'm really happy with this list. And the fact that Mind Rack Demon is going to be so like beefy on the battlefield. There's obviously things like pacifisms that make this very bad. We need to get some artifacts like a Terrarium or Terrarian. I can't remember what it's called. Or the explosive thing, the one that has like pay 3 to deal 2 damage or something. That would be good, but this is looking really solid. What have we got in terms of card types? We've got 8 creatures, 5 instants and a sorcery, so we definitely need some more variety here. Because otherwise Mind Rack Demons are going to just hit us in the face. But Fiery Temper is essentially a 1-drop in our list. Instant Neonate gets us something out like, was it Blood Mad Vampire? Yeah, potentially on turn 2. And then if we can use things like that and Fiery Temper in conjunction with each other, we're in such a solid spot. Or even just Olivia's Dragoon and play that and Fiery Temper the following turns. Okay, so we just waiting for the next pack to come. How are we looking on this at the moment? Okay, so we've got all of it queuing up to come to us. I think one of the advantages we've got is being very familiar with the format from a long time ago. I mean, I'm not saying it's the same. I think this is both sets combined, isn't it? Like Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon. Okay, I mean we've got. I remember Magmatic Chasm actually being good. Deadweight is incredible removal. Just really good, and it's really good for Delirium as well. So we might have to pick that over Alchemist Greeting, no matter how good Alchemist Greeting is. Uncaged Fury is great for this, but Deadweight is just so efficient. Sometimes you can just double spell in a turn, flip some werewolves back. Pyrehound I remember being great as well. So it's specifically instant or sorcery, so we've only got 6 triggers so far. This was medium. 2 cards from your graveyard to your hand and discard a card. So when you cast this, target opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. 8 mana 6/4 with a merge for 7. I mean, this could be good. It just puts more pressure on them. It's either that or Macabre Waltz. But Macabre Waltz could also be good, so I'm going to hover this for now. I feel like this is more likely good and this could be okay. But let's take Macabre Waltz for now. Oh, Geralt's Masterpiece, that was always a fun one. I think here we probably want Weirded Vampire, because a 3/3 at instant speed for 3 is really good. Blood Mad Vampire just a little bit harder to get to. I just remember the 3/3 feeling decent, so I'm going to go with that. Takes a couple. Ooh. Target creature gains double strike, yeah, we saw that earlier. So, Certain Death is super slow. Explosive Apparatus is good here, maybe. What's Make Mischief? Oh yeah, it's a deal 1 and make a devil. I mean, this I remember being fairly decent. But we could just go all out aggro, but I think the Blood Mad Vampire is the pickup here. Especially if we can start giving that first strike. So, Tormenting Voice for the same reason. Make Mischief again good, but Tormenting Voice fueling our Discard. It's really good for us. And we're already in, like, nearly the realm of having a full deck. And we're only in pack 2. I wouldn't be too unhappy playing this. We do want 1 Alchemist Greeting at least. And the fact that we've got multiple things that are discards means that we can have an easier time getting Mind Rack Demon online. So, Butcher's Cleaver was +3/+0 if it's human it has lifelink. Costs 2 less to cast if you've got Delirium, but we've already got a better 4/5 flyer. Honestly, this could just be Arms of the Vein again. And just try and push that damage through. None of these are probably making our deck. So we'll take a Rush of Adrenaline, a second one, just pop it down there for now. Crow of Dark Tidings works well in this, especially now we've got Mind Rack Demon. And having that with Macabre Waltz as well actually means we've got ways of getting things back. I like this. This is going well. We'll take a Chasm. Creatures without flying can't block. Which it can push through so much damage. If we've got things like the Blood Mad Vampires on the battlefield, that's 8 damage if we've got 2 of them. We really want to get another Olivia's Dragoon though. Take them more even though we don't think we're going to play it. Because that one's a maybe. And then I just want a big pack 3. I'd love to get like a Ooh, another Vampiric Fury is nice, because haven't we got loads of vampires? Oh, only 7. Okay, we need more. We'll take Apparatus, because we want it for Delirium. To be honest, most of the time I think we'd rather mill it than draw it. Oh, I used to love Second Harvest. What about it? So Neonate's great. Crow of Dark Tidings is good. Accursed Witch, which was this again? When it dies, return to the battle transformed under your control. Oh yeah, so it basically flips and then just drains them for 1 every turn. But we don't really have that much use for it. I honestly think we probably just want another Neonate. And just try and push for really early damage. Okay. Well, this isn't going great. It's probably this vampire. Like, the Morkrat Necropod was actually decent, I remember. Trueface Sensor was so good in the humans deck, especially with things like Hinterland Logger. Briarbridge Patrol was decent. But yeah, we go for the weirded vampire. Go for the curve considerations here. Okay, so we're really running out of steam a bit on some things. So I don't think we play Blood Mist. I'll be honest, I don't think we play any of these. But it's worth taking just in case. Blood Mist I remember being too slow. It's too linear. Like, it's really easy to play around. Ooh. If there was like a Fiery Temper, that's like the only thing I'd take over here, but Stentia Masquerade, attacking creatures you control have first strike. When a vampire deals damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it, and it has Madness. We are absolutely putting... Oh no, there was an Olivia's Dragoon. I should have taken that. That was better. Geesa's Bidding is just decent value. Traveller's Amulet is actually really good here, especially for Delirium. And I don't think we need to worry about... Although Geesa's Bidding I remember just being incredible as well, so let's just take that. We've got another Dragoon. That is exactly what we wanted. If we wheel that last Dragoon, that's probably the last card we want for our deck, and we can start cutting things. So we're at 29 now. Insatiable Gorges isn't great. What have we got here? I mean, it's the only thing we're going to put is the weirded vampire in our deck, but maybe not. Rush of Adrenaline can probably go. Borrowed Hostility can be okay. Chasm, Tormenting Voice, Fury. Crow is fine. Again, Merciless Resolve is probably more for our... for Delirium than anything else. Yeah, because sack a land creature or land, so I think we don't need that. This is good. Grotesque Mutation is great for racing. Ride Down shouldn't be this late. That red-white humans deck should maybe still be here. We've got the Crow, we've got Ravenous Bloodseeker, it's another good one. We're getting a lot of vampires here, so this is going well. We don't need any of these, so we'll just take either the Logger or the Sensor away from someone, but I mean, the Logger's so good. Take that away. Gavany Unhallowed I remember being fine. We don't care about any. Strength of Arms is the best card there. Yeah, I guess another Ravenous Bloodseeker. If we can go Bloodseekers... Yeah, well, I mean, we don't need to worry here. We've got so many good options. Crow isn't even bad, but I don't think it makes our list. I actually think that, as much as I love Magmatic Chasm, I'm trying to decide whether it would be worth it here. We're probably cutting the Arms of the Vein, because we don't need them. All they do is drain, whereas Fiery Temper is much more efficient. We are missing a little bit of removal, so... Guy Reach Bandit is just medium. How are we doing on creatures? 15. So fine on creatures. What do we want to cut? Howlpack Wolf is medium. And we've got Geesa's Bidding to make up an extra creature as well. We've got Deadweight in this to trigger things. Grotesque Waltz, 2 Dragoons, Fury Blade. Chasms a maybe. Tormenting Voice is good. We don't think we need 2 Vampiric Furies. Although I didn't want to ditch both of them. Keep 1. Because now we've got this 12 vampires. So that's good. Arms of the Vein, probably we lose 1. And probably the... I don't know if we can justify the Crow. Chasm's probably out. We just want to keep all of our vampires. What's not a vampire? In fact, pretty much everything. The crow is like the only thing. The crow and the demon are the only non-vampires. Gisa's bidding's too efficient. Crow really helps with the demon and puts pressure on. So, how are we looking? 14 creatures, but we want to be 15. I think the crow goes. And Arms of the Vein again. I know we have got a lot of lands here, but we can actually churn through them quite quickly, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, this is looking pretty good to me. I don't think anything else we want to do. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. So, this is our list. This is what we're going to go in with and see what we can do. And yeah, I guess for now, I'll see you in game. Okay, we have found ourselves a game. Let's see what we can do with this red-black aggro. Oh, against Trostani. That was my first ever commander deck. Let's see what we can do. I mean, this is already a pretty good start. We've got a deadweight, we've got a 2-drop into 3-drop. We just need to draw one more land, and we've got Stentia Masquerade as well. I say we keep this. We drew the Neonate as well. Perfect. Neonate is the best draw we could have got here. So, our opponent's not got anything, which is good. Deranged Whelp. Yeah, that's got Menace, but so have we. I mean, we could just play Bloodmad Vampire, but I actually just think playing Bloodseeker is worth it. If we draw a land next turn, we can play Bloodmad Vampire and Deadweight using Ravenous Bloodseeker, which is great. If not, we'd just play the Vampire, I guess. Yeah, they let this through. See what our opponent plays. Another one. DJ Khaled would be proud. Give us a land. Okay, no land. So I think here we actually do just go for the Neonate discarding Bloodmad Vampire after we've attacked. Because we need to... Or even before we attack. Let's attack first, just get the guaranteed damage in. So we'll use Neonate, we'll discard Bloodmad Vampire. We'll cast it for its Madness cast. And hopefully we draw a black source maybe? Red source will do. So this could be an easy shock or something, or Galvanic Bombardment, there we go. That's fine, not as worried about that, but it does make things slightly awkward. One more land here would be good for Stentia Masquerade. What's funny actually, we might be able to blow them out with this. Because this just gives it first strike, so if they put an X3 down or something like that. Okay, so here we don't have anything we actually want to discard that's easy to do. No, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to play that. Oh well. We'll decline to discard here. Yeah, we are going to attack. We're just going to keep putting pressure on because even though we're behind in the race, I think we've just got more pressure in general. And this puts us to, is it 3 cards in the graveyard? It'll be 2 card types. So we're getting closer to Mind Rack Demon being relevant. Oh, it tells us here, there we go. And now we can Gisa's Bidding next turn, which is nice. We can also Stentia Masquerade if we need to, and just push for tons of damage. Okay. Okay, how do we do this? This isn't what we want to see, so... There's nothing much we can do here. We can make this 4 attack and push, but then that doesn't get through. So I think we actually just have to wait here. Decline, because this doesn't have anything. No attacks, and then the turn. Well, this gives us options of things like playing Weirded Vampire, Gisa's Bidding, that sort of thing. So if we just drop... I think actually if we just drop Geesa's Bidding and then just activate that instead, we can try and just double trade. So you can put, say, Geesa's Bidding over there. I think this might be worth it. We can't just take this all the time. They have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. It's only half a card extra. Ooh, that's brutal. That's about as bad as it could get for us. Okay. Well, our opponent's got us on the old ropes here. Yeah. So we can make a 3/3. I think we're in a lot of trouble because this is going to be Delirium soon as well. I think this just has to discard the Vampire and we just madness it out. I think we just stumbled a little bit too long. We can attack here. Just try and push a little bit of damage through. See if we can get some sort of big play next turn, but I don't think it's likely. Because we're going to probably have to trade and chump here. They've only got 2, so... Could just double... that's got Menace, doesn't it? Yeah, so... Just chump here, see what happens. They've probably got a pump spell. Yeah, there we go. So we're fine losing to that. That has not been the best start for us. But that's fine. We stumbled a bit on land, we stumbled a bit on tempo, we just sort of fell behind just a little too quickly. So I guess we just jump in and have another go. I want to at least get around sort of 3 wins minimum so we can have another go at another draft if I feel like it. And I am really glad to be back doing the sort of Shadows over Innistrad thing because I had a lot of fun with that previously. I think maybe the Instant Neonate sacking it was a mistake. Maybe we should have just gone for Stensia Masquerade and tried to pump it up and gone for like a race in that front. But when they played that 4/5, there wasn't really much we can do. There's not much in our, in our deck that even deals with it. So I'm not really sure how we go about that in future. But for now, we just get to jump into our second game as soon as we can do. Oh, we found it already. I'm liking this. This is a great feeling compared to, you know, games where you've got a lot longer queues. This feels fantastic. Okay, so this is decent. Nothing fantastic because we're missing a little bit, but I think we can work with this. We go Mountain first. The question is depending on what they play, depends what we play. Because if they play something that we're better off just pushing through. Okay, we'll go for the Black Source and we'll go for the Berserker. So Bloodseeker rather. Because there is a world in which Bloodseeker actually just wants to get in this turn and like push for 3. Okay, they look like they had something there, so maybe they had Galvanic. What are they going for? Crow of Dark Tidings, that's fine. Yeah, we can absolutely go to my turn. Okay, now we're drawing too many lands. We'll attack and see what they do. Okay. We'll just go to damage. You can just mill more cards, that's fine. Yeah, we'll end the turn there. And depending on what they play, depends what we do. So we could just play Geesa's Bidding, which is probably what we do because it's efficient. But we could potentially play Dragoon or Vampire. Oh, sorry, no, just the Vampire instead. Okay, so they're going for the Foul Bloods. The good thing about that is that plays well into Geesa's Bidding. Which I just remember being ridiculous. It's such a strong thing to get 2 2/2s for that cost. So go for some red. Just keep attacking. There's no sense in not putting pressure on here. We're happy to trade this because we're not really discarding anything to it. It's a discard outlet, but it cost us 2. It's cost them 3 if they're willing to trade. Or they trade for half a card here. Yeah, so we'll do this. Discard the Blood Mad Vampire. Cast it. Auto pay that. And I think we want the Dragoon here just because it's not limited number of things per turn. We can potentially fly. It's just completely free. What have we got so far though? We'd love Stencia Masquerade here, that would go really well. Or just anything card draw based? Anything at all? Okay, Foul Bloods, yep. And this feels like a Galvanic? Yeah, Galvanic, there we go. I think we're all okay with that. Back to us. So I'm actually just going to discard a mountain for value here, just to get an extra attack in. Just to make sure they trade with one of these instead of this. And we can just keep putting that damage forward. There we go. Right, and now we're going to hold things in hand. We don't have any reason to play it. If it was a swamp, I wouldn't have ditched it, because we're going to need a swamp at some point for our Mind Rack Demon, but... yeah. Okay, this is all fine. That's a great draw. Yeah, we can actually just attack with all three and see what they do. Yeah, they block there, so we can actually just... again, this might fall foul to a Galvanic or something like that, but this just gives us an extra way of pushing more damage in, getting more casts out. They can kill this if they have a response. Stronger Cultist, yeah, that's the 3-2 that... yes, you play the top card of your library. We want to play ours, thank you. But they can't block because they've already blocked, so we're going to get another 5 damage in, and they're going to still not be able to deal with our Olivia's Dragoon. And we can absolutely block here if it comes to it. We don't want to give them free... yeah, there we go. Perfect. We don't want to give them free options. We want to just keep pushing the damage through while limiting their resources, because they clearly would have played better things if they had them. I think this list is missing a bit of removal. It's maybe not quite got enough big things to squeeze through the damage if we need to, but at least we've got our first win. And a mastery point. And we can jump into a second game. So the best list of these, I do think Fiery Temper used to be a common, so getting like 3 or 4 Fiery Tempers wasn't even unusual. Arms of the Vein might even be worth it in a list like this, because we're just trying to race them down really quickly. But that's why I've gone for Grotesque Mutation, because that can give you huge swings. If you get like a... what's the one that when you discard a card makes it a 4-0 trample to end of turn? I think it is the Vampire. Making that into a 7... or not 4-0, a 4-2. And then, yeah, making that into like a 7-3 can just 14-point life swing the game if it comes to it. The number of times I've used that just to actually just swing damage is so many off the chart. So, oh, every time I feel like I'm about to wrap up the sort of the queuing time, go into the next, go to a cut for the next game, I'll just find another game. This doesn't feel good. This one's a mulligan. I don't like it because we've got things we can play, but we actually don't have anything relevant. Okay, so this is fine. Keep this and ditch a mountain, because this gives us a really solid 2-3-4 curve. It's going to be 2-3-4 as long as we draw one more land. If we'd have drawn a Dragoon there, that sorry, a Neonate. There we go, that's what I wanted. So this is Inside Scramble, okay. Because this is the one that tap an untapped creature you control to transform. Yeah, this is the one that actually made it into standard decks with Always Watching. It was quite impressive to see something that bizarre. Please don't kill me. I want to play my Blood Mad Vampire for 2 instead of 3, but I'm going to play it either way. Okay, yeah. I mean, if they just do this now, yeah. That's potentially a mistake, because what they could have done is wait to block here and then done it in response, so now we just get a free attack. So we're just going to go for the attack. Honestly, I think we just end the turn and play this at the end step to try and make them think that there's no real threat coming. If they like try and kill this, we could potentially just play out the Blood Mad Vampire. And then if we get the Blood Mad Vampire out, we're going to end up with things like Grotesque Mutation to get it even bigger. Yeah, they can just damage us, that's fine. Ingenious Scarb, sure. Here we discard the Vampire. In fact, maybe... yeah, no, Geezer Spinning doesn't work here, actually. We just need a little bit more push to get it through. Maybe that Rush of Adrenaline should have been what we put in. Okay, this is good for us. I think I'm just willing to trade this. And if they block with the Olivia's Dragoon, we'll go for something different, and we'll go for a second Dragoon and Grotesque Mutation. There we go. So they can push this, but this just forces the trade. They're going to obviously pay to pump it. It's not great, but it's a big tempo swing, and this starts pumping up. There we go. Get a counter on it. Play another Dragoon. And the fact that this attacks each turn if able means that we can potentially just play Mind Rack Demon next turn and just chew through it pretty quickly and just make it disappear. Okay, what's their play? We just want to... okay, sure. They are on the mill plan. If they start milling us, I would be so happy right now. Okay, I would have absolutely attacked with a Cathar. Because I'm not attacking with this unless I'm getting through anyway, I suppose. That might work. But Stentia Masquerade is a big deal here. No. Okay, so... honestly, I think we're just attacking with a Dragoon. I don't think we need the discard outlet. We've got another one here. We'll just... if they trade, they trade. They're going to be sacking their clue. Unless they actually buff this, and if they do... oh, that's fine. This is absolutely fine. Mill 4 cards. And we got Delirium as well, even better. So now they've just got a massive creature to deal with, and they've just used another piece of pseudo removal, I'd say. And they can pump Incited Rabble twice, so unless they play an extra land here... yeah, so they're going to start digging. Who's going to mill 3 cards? Me or you? Me. Okay. I've got plenty left. I would have loved that Fiery Temper though. That would have been so good here. And now Incited Rabble can't actually get through. Stentia Masquerade would still be great here, especially... okay, what was this one? Is this a tap one? Yeah, tap a creature we control. Honestly, at this point, I think we just maybe preserve our life total. Yeah, let's just... let's do that rather than trade it with the one that gives them things back. That makes more sense to me. Okay, so we've got an extra red source. Attack with the Mind Rack Demon. Batter them. Geezer Spinning. Oh, actually, we could have played both, couldn't we? Oh, what a spanner. Could have definitely played both there, but this is fine. They're going to sack more clues, and we're going to keep putting pressure on. Yeah, they're going to make us mill, apparently. In a format where... oh, okay, that's not too bad. We should have played both of these. We could have been pushing a lot more damage through. I guess they're looking for a pacifism or angel sacrifice, or... because if I have one of those and it's the one that just sack a land, sack that island to exile this. Okay, give something +1/+1. So if they tap one of these, they can just push this through for 5, 6 damage. Yeah, so that works for 6 damage. Yep, we go for no blocks here. Don't know if they've got much else. Travels. Okay, good. So we're in a solid spot now. Yeah, we're fine for Delirium. So we'll just push everything through here. Because it doesn't make sense not to. We're happy if they want to lose their Guardian Pilgrim thing. There we go, they're down to 4, so they have to block in the air next turn, and then we've got a blocker for the ground. And we've kept a card in hand ready to activate. So they just make sure they don't draw anything. They're probably going to go for a swamp here, I imagine. Because we haven't seen any black cards yet, so maybe a mountain. Okay. So if they attack with this, we don't need to block. Because we need to make them feel like they have no option to block with the Herald. Okay, so they got the Bound by Moonsilver. That's good for them. So now what are they doing? Still passing. Okay. This is good. We'll just attack with both of these and see if they don't block this, they actually are going to lose. We can just do this. Leave them with one blocker, which will be that once they activate it. It's good the job that they got this first before we got anything else. Here comes the Cathar. And the good thing about this is that we could just not activate if we don't need to, so we're just going to be able to threaten, essentially. And do they block? So we'll just discard a swamp here. Put them down to 1 and end the turn. And now there's multiple things we can do that get us there. Okay, another Cathar. So they could attack here, but that's not that helpful, I don't think. I'm trying to think what we could do here that would get the win. Fighting doing a Fiery Temper would be great. I mean, that's just really good for us because it's got Trample. We can decline that, but next turn we can do it and just push through the damage. So unless they find a spell here, we're in a good spot. So go to combat. We'll discard this to buff it up. Attack with both. And now they have to block both of these and find a way to deal with the trample. There we go, perfect. Okay, that's 2 wins. We're 1 away from our target. We only wanted to go neutral essentially, so we're not doing too badly. So this will be our 4th game coming up now. Like, I'm starting to think maybe I need to edit the deck. Oh, we got a Zeus's Many Journeys. Okay, cool. So what have we got here that doesn't feel good? I mean, maybe cutting a vampire for Chasm after all? Or even just Apparatus for Rush of Adrenaline, actually. I don't feel like Rush of Adrenaline's a bad choice at all. We haven't even seen Borrowed Hostility yet. That would have been good earlier. Yeah, so we're slightly faster now. Let's try this. I think, like, the other ones, it's not like I felt like I was having an issue, but, like, getting the damage through felt like it could potentially run out of steam, and I wanted to make sure that we could just keep pushing that forwards. Explosive Apparatus, while good for Delirium, is a bit mediocre otherwise. It's only really Mind Rack Demon. I think with Mind Rack Demon, we just want to be ahead in life, regardless of whether we take it or not. So normally I wouldn't keep this, but with Deadweight as a 1-drop and Tormenting Voice as a 2-drop, I actually think this is fine. Especially with them going first. I mean, that's great, because we can absolutely just Deadweight that immediately. That can get out of control. There's a couple of combos of that in this format. In the previous, well, in the old one anyway, that were utterly ridiculous. Okay, Olivia's Dragoon, yeah. Grotesque Mutation could be really good here if this is a racing situation. So we are on the Tormenting Voice plan here. It's going to be the mountain that goes, because we need to find a swamp. And we'll just play Masquerade next turn if we need to. That's not good. So we've got Land, Sorcery, Enchantment, so as soon as we get a creature in there, we're in a good spot. Question is, are we going to get a creature in there? Like a Neonate would be good here. We could... Macabre Balls. Because you need to... Yeah, we do need creatures in there in the first place. I guess we just play the Masquerade first. So they're stumbling on lands, we're stumbling on creatures or lands. A black source and we might be good. But who knows? Because this could just be churning anything up, gone past. Okay, perfect. There we go. We've got something to do. And we've got Rush of Adrenaline to protect it as well, so that's really good for us. So we're actually going to block here if they attack, and then... Oh no, they found a source. So they could discard to give to cast a Fiery Temper on this, and if they do, we just Rush of Adrenaline it. So, past blockers, we will just block here. See what they do. They might just have like a grotesque mutation of their own. In which case we... What are they going to discard? Stensian Masquerade. If they play that, that's really good for us. Because we can just Rush of Adrenaline here. And the first strike doesn't matter, and we have enough damage to kill it. That's so good for us. That's a huge tempo swing. They were hoping to catch us out and like thinking we'd go and trade. But actually we just got them. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we don't have anything here that we can really discard. I mean... No, let's just attack. Get our counter. Play our own Dragoon. End the turn and start looking at how we can get towards... Oh wow, we've got everything except creature in there. We got it perfectly. Okay, so they've got one of those. But this is, again, all good for us. You can go for that if you want, that's no problem. We just need a black source, come on. Okay, red source, better than nothing. Let's just attack with both. Get these counters ticking up. Again, we've got mutation if we need it. And we can just start putting counters on things if we don't. We're not worried about a big race here. Yep, first strike damage. I think that's what they were realising, is that we've got first strike as well as them, and we've got race capabilities in hand and they might not. And now we can actually use this multiple times per turn. Like, we can activate this twice. Okay, what are they going to discard? If this is Fiery Temper, and they go to Fiery Temper our Dragoon. Okay, Geesa's Bidding, that's fine. We don't care about that. Because we will absolutely just try and find a way to give ourselves flying if we can. In fact, we've got first strike anyway, it doesn't really matter. So, they've got 5, 6, 9 next turn, so we need to maybe push for the mutation this turn. But what if we... So how... So we can get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I actually don't think we play that. I think we just attack with both of these, knowing that we've got first strike. So this is only going to be 7, but they could have something big. So I think we discard this. And maybe even Macabre Waltz. I think we do actually discard Macabre Waltz. I don't think we need it now. And just gain 10 life. That's all we're using this for, is just gaining life. Taking that race completely out of their hands. So again, all we need is a black source, and we've got our biggest threat on the board. We've got a very quick clock as well. They're obviously going to keep attacking here, most likely, especially if they got like another Geesa's Bidding or something. Okay, Bloodhole Priest, that's good. I think that's the one that deals 2 damage to things, is it? Yeah. Okay. So funny enough, this might be the turn where we Magmatic Chasm, just to try and push damage through quicker. Ooh, borrowed hostility. What does that do? So we can get to... So we get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I think we just... Okay, if they gave something double strike, they've 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh no, because this could be 6, so 12, 13, 16 damage. So let's push this through. We go to blockers. I think here we just give things +3 +0. So we've got 9. We could go for 12, which puts both of these lethal next turn. I think we actually do it. I think we put these to them to needing to double block or kill something. I don't like this. I feel like we've just thrown away everything, but one card and we can do this. And this is, yeah, this is if you've got no cards in hand. So unless they can kill us here, our Olivia's Dragoon just kills them, or we just attack with a Bloodseeker and you kill something. Yeah, they're having to find answers. They had to get rid of certain death. They didn't have the chance to do it. So maybe this is it? Maybe we found the line? I didn't like ditching our big mythic, but sometimes it's the right call. Okay, they had nothing to discard. That's great as well. So let's just discard this to Olivia's Dragoon. And maybe they're just waiting to see if we find the line. Which, if this is the case, we have done. Yes, there we go. See, this is a sort of format like the Phyrexia one. I did not enjoy that very much, but this sort of format's so much more fun. It's just, it feels really interactive. There's like little tricks you can do. You can like bring it all together. It feels great. Okay, so we've got our target. Let's see if we can get any more out of this. So, given that the queue times have actually been quite short, I'm just going to keep talking through this one. Oh, okay, we found one already. I'm not used to this. Nicholas Rudiski. Okay, what have we got this time? Another decent starting hand. 1, 2, 3. Keep this. And we're on the play as well, which is great for us. I wouldn't mind drawing Stentia Masquerade here, but that's just getting a little bit greedy. Come on, no attackers. Perfect. Tormenting Voice is good. Okay, and then Olivia's Dragoon and pass the turn. The interesting thing is you can't pass the turn with both of these because they both have activated abilities, but okay, that's fine. Sometimes you want to just activate in the wrong time. Okay, so here I am just going to use this straight away to discard Gisa's Bidding so that we can just get in for damage. This is a ridiculous curve. This is so good. There we go. So we've got, what, 7 power on the battlefield already, and more card draw in the future. This is pretty good for us. Like, they could obviously find ways of stopping it. Like, yeah, Rabid Bite does it. But Rabid Bite just still means that they're going to be trading one spell for one. They're not getting ahead on tempo. We're going to be able to keep pushing ahead on board. And we found a black source, which is exactly what we wanted. So we're going to discard the red source. The Tormenting Voice. See what we find. Let's go for everything. Attack. The question here is, do we actually want to Grotesque Mutation? I don't think so yet. I think we could get more value out of it later. Especially if they try and Rabid Bite something now, actually. If they go for like a Rabid Bite here. Okay, that's good for us. That's good for us. Of Because now if they go to kill our neonate, we can just use our weirded vampire to come out. Okay, Herod's Grace Champion. What a great card. So because these trade anyway, I'm just going to make sure that this trades here. There we go. And while this looks weird, we can still actually just use the neonate and get back more creatures next turn anyway, so if they worry about... Okay, oh yeah, that's fine. Funny enough, these just trade. So is it... I actually think it's still worth trading this, just to keep the card draw going. And also if we draw one of our buff spells, this is good for us. Okay, we didn't, so what we do here is we Macabre Waltz, return both of these to our hand. Oh, discard the swamp, I assume. Yeah, we don't need the swamp. Mountain, instantly an 8. I will just attack with this because we want them to trade. That's also good. So we're out of resources here, but we have got the neonate to churn through something if we need to. We maybe shouldn't have played that mountain, actually, thinking of it. No blocks here. Happy to race. They've got Westvale Abbey. They're going for Ormondale. Ooh, Thalia's Lancers. Okay, this is a ridiculously cool list from our opponent. We would ditch that. Cast it for its madness cost. Attack with the ones that we know get through. So we're not far off, but we're coming against potentially Ormondale, which is like the boogeyman of the format. Honestly, I think we just make them do something so they can't just keep Westvale Abbeying. We don't care about Thalia's Lancers, we don't even care about this. We just want to have them have less things to Westvale Abbey with, because if that comes out we can't win. We literally don't have any way of dealing with that. So we'll attack with these two just because we can't Westvale, like they can't Westvale Abbey us to death. They've got things that maybe can deal damage, like Gideon's Reproach or something maybe is in this format. So what are they playing with here? I don't want to attack with this because of Westvale Abbey. Gains your life, second attack. Alright, cancel. So which one do we... Okay, I guess we actually just sacrifice the Dragoon and just push this through. Play our other Dragoon. And hope that we can get our... Stensia Masquerade seems to be what we're wanting all the time here. Griff Spoon, okay. Okay, so they're just going to start whacking us. That's fair. So we're only a couple turns away now, so... Let's attack these. See if we get the trade here. We probably do, yep. It's not ideal, but it might do. And I think here we actually need to just ditch this and push for something else. Of course, now we get the Masquerade. Oh, that should have been an end step thing. Oops. Yep, so we've still got 2 turns away, but then they've got Westvale Abbey. Yeah, okay, now we're probably dead. Yeah, there we go. That's the end of that game. There's nothing we can do. They're going to basically, over a couple of turns, kill us in the sky. We don't have enough damage in our list to push through that. If we'd have taken an Uncaged Fury, I wouldn't have necessarily conceded there, because there's a world in which we maybe, you know, use our first strike to get a bit of damage in, see what we can do. But from that point, I don't think we had any chance. So only 1 loss left. It might not be the longest draft, but This could still be successful. Well, in fact, it's already successful. One more I need to consider. Oops. That was a random video processing blip you'll see there. Apologies. But yeah, one more getting through and I'll be happy with that. Like, if we get one more win, that's 1,400 gems back. Makes it very, very easy to go for the next draft. We've already got enough. We've only lost 100 net, so that could be worth it. This might be the time that you just see me maybe cut the video a little bit, because this is actually looking like it's going to be our first longer loading time. So, ooh, okay, for a second then I thought I saw something different. But if you have enjoyed this content and you are enjoying Magic the Gathering, let me know. It's not something I'm going to do loads of, but just thought okay, we're finding the opponent. Just thought I'd try it out on the channel and give it a go, see what you think, because it's something I used to be really passionate about, and I wanted to see if it translates well now. I have reduced my collection to almost nothing. I play Warhammer almost exclusively now, so not going to be getting back to it in person, but figured why not ask if it's something that people like digitally. I want to keep this because we've got a reasonable setup here, especially Bloodseeker into Stentia Masquerade is really good. Also Fury Blade Vampire is probably actually our first play here, because that just flies through it. Although depending if they play a creature. Okay, so they played Duskwatch. Duskwatch makes me want to play Bloodseeker instead, because Rabid Bite isn't as much of an issue. We obviously can't do anything here because we can't block. I mean, we could block, make them push a pump spell through or something. The issue is if they just flip it. Actually, no, it's not even an issue if they flip it. Okay, deranged well, that's fine. Have they got one more? One more little friend here. The interesting thing as well, that if they don't do any blocks that we don't like, we can just play 2 more creatures. I mean, if this is Surge of Adrenaline, we will trade this. We'll absolutely trade this. Probably ditch Macabre Waltz. Wow. Okay. That's a really aggressive play for our opponent there. So now we are just going to go on Fury Blade Vampire Instant Neonate and pass the turn. No discard here. And just carry on as we were. Now we can start getting the next Stentia Masquerade up and see if they can basically be a little bit too slow with the Duskwatch Recruiter. Also, that diddling noise that I keep hearing, I'm assuming is this. But it sounds like the noise from Rayman. Yeah, there we go. If they're using this, they're going to start falling behind fast. Because they're going to lose their Deranged Whelp to a Neonate if it comes to it. Ooh. Yeah, we'll just double block this. You can't kill both. And Duskwatch Recruiter is one of the best things going. Sure. That was a weird choice from our opponent, but I'll take that. Especially now we've got Macabre Waltz in the background. So now we just make our ever-growing menace creature bigger and bigger. And we can always just ditch it if we need to get rid of a swamp. But we can get both of these back. What we'd like to draw is like a Fiery Temper here. When a quick creature transforms, you transform that as well. That was it. Okay, yeah, so they're just going to start hitting us for a bit. But we're going to, I think, win this race overall. Because ours just gets bigger and bigger. Okay, so Macabre Waltz, we will pick these 2 back up. We will ditch a mountain. We'll probably play... Let's go Fury Blade Vampire. Don't need to do that right now. There we go, now we're getting bigger and bigger. This thing they can't even play. Okay, they're getting closer. Okay. So, is that trample? It's not trample either, so we can just trade that with our Bloodletter. Oh, this is good for us. We might just be losing Do you not actually think we're going to lose our... Oh, we should have ditched that. Okay, so many mistakes here. Do we want to push this? This doesn't have trample, so this would give all of our vampires. So yeah, I think we just ditch that. Again, we're close. I think we might have to chump this in exchange for just pushing these on next turn. Because we can't do anything about that. If they just play Gatstaff Arsonists, I think we could be okay. Okay, yeah, they played Arsonists. This is going to attack. So that would mean if two get through, we've got... Yeah, so I think this is actually lethal, because this is only over 3, this is only over 5, so that's 8 total. They've got 1 blocker, they can't block this, they can only block this. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're good here. Thank you, Vampiric Fury, we made it to where we wanted to be. And pass to combat. Ditch this. Attack with everything, and there we go, that's another lethal attack. Gatstaff Arsonist not strong enough. There's nothing I can see here that they could untap. I don't think they've got anything for free. They just they block the trample one anyway. Don Castello, I'm afraid we have taken you down a peg or two. Pushed onto our 4 wins, which is great. Let's see if we can keep it going. This is going really well. Like, this is my first Innistrad draft in years, probably since the original set. And so the next one is the first actual profit. So let's see if we can go for that as well. Again, I am familiar with this format a bit. It's been a long time, but I am enjoying it. I loved the red-black vampire deck anyway. It was always a fun one. Neonates, Olivia's Dragoons, with like the backbone of it, and I think we got 2 of each. Could have done with more Fiery Tempers, maybe an Alchemist's Greeting, but it's good for us. We got 1-drop removal, 2 3-drop. We are on the first, on the play, so it's not quite going to be what we wanted to do, but this will work out well, I think. We can put damage out very early on with a 2-2-3-3 curve. There we go. Even better if they're not doing that. Do we want to push more damage through or to go for the consistent? Let's see if we do what we do with this, because we could potentially just not do the discard or discard something else. Okay, that's fine. We'd have rather that be Olivia's Dragoon, but we're alright here. Yeah, we'll just go with this. But that's why Deadweight's so good, it's just so efficient. I'm not sure which way around actually I'd preferred it. I quite like the Olivia's Dragoon just being whenever you want it, you've got it. Prize Amalgam. Okay. So here we are just going to ditch the vampire. Get our flyer going. And we kind of just want them to attack with Prize Amalgam, so we can just attack back. Haunted Fengraf is the... Yeah, return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, they've got a weirded vampire as well. I imagine they attack with the Amalgam. They don't, okay. Oh, that's good. So if we Olivia's Dragoon, discard Fiery Temper, cast that on the vampire, and then just... There's no other way of bringing these back right now, I don't think, so let's just go with this. If they block this, we just give it first strike. Yeah. In fact, maybe we could have actually gone for that as well. That would have been better if we'd have We could have played the land. I didn't think about this because it's target creature and separate target creature. We could have got 3 more damage through. I'm going to leave this as a discard option if we need it. How are we looking for Delirium? Creature instant, so that's fine. That's also fine, so let's just attack. Push the Vampiric Fury through. There we go. So we're really pushing this damage in fast. Like, I want to hold these for discards or removal, just whatever works really. Yeah, and if they spend... Okay, they're not going to spend their resources here, so... Again, here we can just run in. What we'd rather them do is actually spend some resources here. But then I don't think they're going to, because we don't want them to be able to have this to activate. So let's end the turn here and save our vampire for next turn. If they're going for more land here, wow, that's so greedy. Like, maybe they have one big thing, but oh, they're missing an entire colour. Okay, maybe not then. I'm really glad we didn't go for deadweight. Discard a vampire. We'll cast it. Auto pay. Maybe they've got a counter here. They've got 2 blue. There we go. They've got a counter spell. That works. Okay, I'm going to keep attacking. They probably have... Oh, I thought they were going to have Blessed Alliance there. I'm just not going to play anything out in case we just need to push through damage over a couple of turns with the Dragoon. The Fengraf is going to return probably, what, the Battleground Geist? Or maybe the Scarecrow again? Scarecrow. Okay, they just really want their land. If they tap out, though, we will just deadweight it. Okay, so they got Descend Upon the Sinful. That's so good. That spell's incredible. You know what, I think we just pass for now and see if there's something we can take out with this. We're not far off of killing them. We just want our demon, really. Descend is so powerful. They're going to play the Scarecrow. So that's probably what they're splashing for, to be honest, is Descend Upon the Sinful. We've not seen any other white cards. There we go. So this is why we want to draw our big guy. Okay, we'll pass the turn here. We're still taking damage. We could be dead in 2 turns. So we need to be careful. Maybe we should stop this. It doesn't actually change anything because it's... Yeah, it actually doesn't change anything unless they play another real flyer here. So here we just play that. I guess we pass the turn. We don't have any way getting through, so we'd need to get Tormenting Voice into Magmatic Chasm and a pump spell. That's what we need here. So we're not out of it, but it's not likely. One Neonate works to get there. As in Neonate into Tormenting Voice, Magmatic Chasm. What else have we got? Just another one of these. Okay, that is the game, and that is the end of our draft. So, pretty happy with the result. 4-3. For coming fresh back into it, that's a pretty solid result. Hopefully you guys think the same thing. I had fun doing it. It's an archetype I enjoyed playing when it was around originally. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to enjoy that next time. So let's just have a quick look at our boosters and see what we get. As you can see, we're nearly at enough for 1.5 whole drafts. So, what are we hoping for here? Like, back in the day, it was Avacyn. That was what you wanted, so I'm going to fingers crossed for Avacyn here. Westvale, I mean, that was the other option. Westvale Abbey is great. I couldn't believe how good that was when we played it in draft for the first time. Ride Down's fantastic. Swift Spinner. Selfless Spirit, yeah, the core of the modern Spirits deck for a while. The fact that that existed was bizarre. Faith Unbroken's a great draft card sometimes, and Ulrich of the Krallen Horde. I think he was a mythic at one point in the real game, but yeah, Incendiary Flow was uncommon, and that was amazing. That was like a standard staple for ages. But yeah, great draft. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys did too. If you enjoyed it, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Join us over on the Patreon. Let me know in the comments how you'd have played it differently. There's definitely a few things that I could be doing better. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.